Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another Wake Up with Bunny morning. I am so excited that you are here. I have my coffee, I have my water, I've got you guys, I've got the internet, and I have Balancer in here reminding everyone to please like, subscribe, share with your friends, invite more people to Wake Up with Bunny because it's such a cool, fun place. Whew, it's going to be a great day. Who is looking forward to your Wednesday? Tonight, in, gosh, math is hard, roughly 15 hours. Tune in right here for Spicy Tea with Bunny and SB. That is Sarah Beth Urich and I, and we talk about all the sexy sex stuff. So that is tonight. It's only a show that happens once a month. And it is such fun. It's like two of me talking about sex. It's magnificent. It's a lot of fun. We're going to talk about the full spectrum of kind of sexual enthusiasms, sexual kinks, kind of how to ease your way into that with new girls, how to kind of challenge your own boundaries and how to challenge one another's boundaries as well. So it is going to be a really fun discussion tonight, and I am super excited about it. Now, let's go over to Twitter X. If you don't follow me on Twitter, why not? I'm sure you do, but I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. Let's see what's happening in our neck of the woods this morning. She met up with you. She's already contemplated fucking you. I have a story with that. So whenever Fort Worth and I, we met on a dating app, okay? And whenever we were going back and forth, because he had a marathon scheduled and was traveling, we actually had to talk on the phone or had to kind of keep text communication up before we even met. So he had to keep me interested long enough for him to go to this race and come back from it, recover a little bit, and meet up with me. So it was, I believe, about a week and a half. He tried to get me out immediately before he left town, before the race. But then I couldn't because, I was a mom and, all the realities of that. So I couldn't go out on a weeknight, and he was leaving town that weekend. So anyway, by the next weekend, we finally met up. So in like talking on the phone and in texting back and forth a little bit, just to keep that interest alive, he kind of would tell stories and make jokes and quips and all this stuff. And I remember one night saying, I don't know why I've been so worried about what my body, looks like naked with you. And that's where he knew before he even met me that I was already thinking about sex with him, because we can't help it. If we are showing up for a date and we are sexually minded at all, we are going to imagine what sex with you would be like. And there may be little indicators that that's going through our heads, or there may not be. Ours was a little bit of a special circumstance, strictly because there was so much lag time that we had to fill. We didn't sext. We didn't get raunchy or anything like that. We didn't send sexy pictures or anything like that, because then all the mystery goes away. That is actually a terrible way to keep the excitement up. You just kind of keep in contact. So ours was one of those circumstances where we had to kind of get to know each other a little bit before we actually met in person. But he definitely knew that I was contemplating fucking him in that moment. Balancer, what did you ask? Let's see here. If a girl says, just so you know, we're not having sex on the first date, what is the percentage this will happen? You always ask great questions and try and pin me down with hard numbers. I would say it's still 50-50 that she will fuck you on the first date. She just has to. It's just like saying, no hookups, no, you know, serious inquiries only, like, not here for sex, you know. It's an anti-slut defense that she puts up, kind of like the things that she will say on the app itself to try to, it's not necessarily to deter you. It's actually because she's, number one, thinking about sex, and number two, so that anyone that ever asks, she can say, and I told him we weren't having sex that first night, you know, and, you know, he still went out with me, and that's when I knew he was a keeper or whatever. But just run your game and run your plan and take it as far as you can. Your one no means maybe, a second no means no. So if you run your game and she is not a first night sex person, she may be a 2-date system. And that's where your dating system it's absolutely a shit test. So that's where, like, Fort Worth's Build Your Dating System comes in very handy, because it tells you how to bounce, how to react, and how to plan for a 1 or 2 date system. So a girl who maybe puts it out there on the front end, and you're kind of picking up from other things that she's saying that she might actually mean it, that maybe she isn't planning on having sex with you the first night because she has rules against that. And that's okay. It's okay, because quite honestly, do you want a girl who jumps into bed with every single man that she goes on a first date with? Or do you want someone who is actually putting a little thought and enjoyment into pleasuring with you? So if you have a girl who, number one, says, just so you know, we're not having sex on the first date, and other things that she says, she doesn't have to say that outright, but she does say that in other ways, or she does kind of express through the stories that she tells and the habits that she clearly has, that is a truth for her, that she really doesn't have sex on the first date. Then you go to the 2-date system, and you don't try to close necessarily on the first if it doesn't feel like she's instigating a closure on that first date. But you do the 2-date system, and then she's much more comfortable with you. In Build Your Dating System, he actually has, like, you go to first location, you go to second location, you possibly go to a third location and close, because within a short amount of time, you can have the sensation, you can give the girl the sensation of multiple dates, which extends that time that she feels like she knows you. So it's a win-win whenever you bounce locations and make it seem like you're on multiple dates. It, a lot of times, that overcomes that I don't fuck on the first date barrier, because it feels like you've spent more time together. It feels like you've gotten to know one another better. And it feels like you've been on multiple dates. It's a win-win. If you haven't already checked out Fort Worth's Build Your Dating System, it is in the description box below. I highly recommend. Whew. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, these are, how you lead from here will define the outcome. Let's see. Sushi, anyone? Oh, yeah, no kidding. This girl wrangling this giant bluefin is insane. This is apparently a one-woman thing here. She's an outlier. That is massive. That is just massive. That's insane. Let's see. If a girl meets up with a man, she's interested. This is really good. And this is what women want, okay? A man who plans dates and just tells you to be ready 100%. Even better, I would say, if he says, I want you in that black dress that I like so much with the the, you know, I don't know, sleeveless or whatever the thing that differentiates it from every other black dress in your wardrobe. I want you in stockings. I want you in heels. No bra, no panties. Even better if he says more than just no bra, but he tells you what he wants you to wear. So hot. So hot. She doesn't ask where, and if she does, just say don't worry about it. Just this is what I want you to wear. You'll look stunning. You'll dress appropriately. Even the bossiest boss babes who have to control life in and out of the boardroom want you to control the frame inside the relationship. Outside of work, she wants to be able to be a girl. She wants to be able to be led by you. She wants to not have to make every single decision on her own. She wants you to lead and she wants to follow. There are a lot of boss babe women who end up as the boss babes of their romantic life as well. And this is genuinely not how we were designed to be. We were designed to be led by the man that we trust and that we are romantically involved in, that we feel like is our, that we complement the best. So if you bring up her job on a first date, if you tease her like it's no tomorrow, you need to do these things. Don't bring up her work. Bring up teasing things. So you tease like your kid's sister or like one of her friends. Like, have fun with the girl in front of you and don't allow her to take things so seriously. She's not in the boardroom right now. She's on her way to the bedroom and she needs to enjoy that and play. Play. But you can't be leading her down all of her serious paths and then expect her to kind of let loose and just relax. Let's see. I'm opening this one just because it's mainly interesting. 2 things in life that I don't quite grasp. Why there are so many stars in the sky, and how do 18 to 25-year-old Ukrainian girls who are either on refugee allowance or working shitty 9-to-5 jobs in the UK manage to afford holidays in Spain every month? It's a mystery. And the first one is credit cards. No, honey, that's not what it is. Oh, my word. Oh, I have a feeling I'm not going to like this. This looks like... Oh, okay. I don't know, but I'm glad I didn't see anything. That was like true crime. Like, you can't turn away. You're going, okay, what is that? But then you really don't want to know. Oh, women posting their L's. Oh, gosh. Let's see. My bikini waxer said something that blew my mind this week. We were talking about feeling lost after turning 34 and why we felt that way. Then she said, you're the first generation of 30-somethings not building traditional families. There's no blueprint for us. We're paving the way. That's an L. That's an L for sure. You're paving the wrong path. You're paving the wrong path. I hope this woman went out, called her boyfriend or whatever, said she wanted to take things more seriously, and is getting married in 6 months and starting a family and having a more traditional life. and getting back to the traditional way that things are created to be. I hope. Oh. That's pretty good, fucking good. That's pretty good. Porn is not an addiction. Your husband is afraid of you being mad at him, so he plays the victim because that's what you taught him to do, Susan. That's really fucking good. Well, and I've talked a lot. I watch porn for this is Maximilian Myron. I watch porn a lot for the same as how students watch Indian math videos on YouTube. I think that porn can be incredibly a great learning experience. You can learn a lot from porn. You can learn different moves that you might not have tried otherwise. You can learn if you like the girl to be more vocal in bed, whether you prefer the more quiet ones. There's a trend of more quiet sexual like porn these days where neither the guy or the girl are really saying that much, where it used to be much more guttural. But some people prefer something more soft, something more quiet. And some people prefer a lot of vocalization, a lot of talking, a lot of back and forth, a lot of reciprocation and letting you know what is feeling good and what is not. So I think it can be really informative and a great educational tool when used in that way. That's pretty interesting. Good posts. Good post. Let's see. Oh, okay, let's find out.
You tell the story of how great a love can. Where do I begin? You tell the story of how great a love can. Where do I begin? You tell the story of how great a love can. Where do I begin?
Okay.
You tell the story of how great a love can.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Where do I begin? You tell the
Yes. Let's see. No politics. That's awesome. Man, anyone who can make this kind of transformation should be incredibly proud. Incredibly proud. That's just awesome. I love that. And this guy says that he started to walk. This is the best first step that anyone who is really needing to lose weight and begin an exercise program, just begin the habit, can start, is just by walking. Just by starting to incorporate walking into your daily life. Instead of taking every shortcut, instead of taking every elevator, escalator, parking as close as possible, walking around the block, walking further through the parking lot. Things like this can go a long way. And then you start to establish the exercise habit so that once it's time, or once you feel like you can get into the gym to start actually lifting or getting with a personal trainer, you've got some foundation. It's a really good place to start for people who are starting truly from zero with no exercise knowledge, no real prior knowledge of what to do and what works for them. Maybe they've never been fit. It's a great way to, good question. So Will Francis says, do you have a set amount of steps you try to do per day? I think that the 10,000 step mark is a really good place to start. And I don't think that you have to push for much more than that unless you are actually doing running or things of that nature where, you automatically are going to get those steps in. But 10,000 steps is enough to most days really challenge that you're getting up and moving. Oftentimes it requires you to take at least a short walk or jog or run. It requires you to take extra steps. So most people in their day-to-day lives may only take 2,000 to 4,000 steps. And some are even lower than that. If especially in this day where we've got a very sedentary environment, maybe you work remotely or work from home. And so quite literally, you just walk around the house and you feel like you're walking all the time, but you're walking such a short amount of space that you have to get outside. You have to go to a treadmill. You have to get those steps in to start making real progress. This is a great question. I'm going to flip over to this tab real quick so we don't get distracted by what we're talking about. All right, this is a great question from Christian. How to leverage being a travel photographer to get more female attention? Post on Instagram? A great way to leverage being a travel photographer and to get more attention. Instagram is certainly the hotbed for travel bloggers, vloggers, Instagirls, and maybe it could be where you start to tag different locations and things like that. And then you kind of fall in line and look for girls who are traveling to those same kind of destinations and see them regularly. And then as you see posts where they post similar images or similar locations, you can jump in the chat and jump in the comments and say things like, oh, I did a photo shoot here 1 month ago. We probably just missed each other, or something like that. Or wasn't the surf gorgeous that time of year? It was insane. I caught so many great pictures of it. And start building rapport that way. Another thing, and I'm actually working on a social media book, because social media is today what dating apps were yesterday, right? So now people are actually meeting and hooking up, dating from social media interactions. Yeah, this is good. This is good advice. There are lots of photographers of various kinds who really maximize that as a way to meet more girls. I also suggest, you're a travel photographer, Christian, but I suggest you make sure that you incorporate women into these pictures. Showing hot women, showing that you are surrounded by photographing hot girls would be a great way to, it boosts it's social proof. So it gives girls that, ooh, I wonder if they slept together, or ooh, he spends his time with girls who are hot like I am. I should get to know him better. It levels the playing field a little bit. You're shooting other hot women. She's shooting pictures of herself, and she wants to be shot by your camera. So I think that these are great ways to leverage being a photographer, posting on Instagram. And make sure when you're posting on Instagram, this is something that I'm going to talk about in the book at length. When you're posting on Instagram, when you're building your following, don't just make it all scenery. Don't just make it all selfies. Have a really balanced perspective in all of your posts of what your life is like. Don't make it all about your photography, even if it is a dedicated photography, channel. Okay. Make sure you incorporate, you've got your gear bag in one picture, or, you've got your coffee set out, or someone captures you capturing a moment. Make sure that you are getting in the shot sometimes also, and you are being shown living this travel photography life, because that is incredibly sexy to women. But there are lots of people who just post scenery pictures, so that's not going to be enough to get her attention. Post yourself in your exciting jet-setting travel photography life, and it will go a lot further in attracting the women that you want. Back to Twitter X. This is so good. Okay. Good morning. Oh. Yeah. Do you know how much when I was younger, how hard it was to get up the gumption to flip someone off? You'd have to be really mad in traffic. And now it's just everything. The fitness app just gave up on me. I have never gotten that from my Fitness Pal, but that's pretty fucking funny. I think my Fitness Pal gets pretty fed up with me sometimes too. That's a great question. Is Whole Foods the best place to meet fit MILFy women? I would say Whole Foods is a great place to meet MILFs. I would say that any high-end grocery store, so Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Central Market is a Texas thing. Any of these grocery stores, Sprouts, that are higher end, more of a luxury brand item, is a great place to meet established older women, moms that you'd like to fuck. You can also go to some of the higher end department stores. A great way is to, if you're not already working or if you wanted a part-time job or something, is actually to work in sales at high-end department stores. Help these women find their beautiful dresses, sexy lingerie, whatever the case may be. But make sure it's like the Neiman Marcus's, I'm going blank at this moment, but go to the higher end brands and shop or help women shop there. Also, I always say pickleball is the new best way to meet MILFy cougars. I mean, there's just no denying that high-end women, established women, are on the pickleball court. This is like the pastime of what previously would have been like the country club tennis women. So check out high-end stores. Think about where these women that you most want to attract are hanging out. What are their pastimes? Where do they shop? What do they do in their free time? What kind of things do they benefit? What kind of causes do they support? Attend galas, attend gallery openings. Go to the country club. Start to play a round or two of golf, or just hit balls from the driving range and get to talking to people. But mainly just have a comfort with speaking with everyone, and then those MILFs will automatically be drawn to you, because cougars want love attention, right? So if you want to attract this kind of woman, then you go where she is and you approach and talk to everyone. Girls, your attention is absolutely girls' oxygen. So make no mistake, she will love it. Great questions. Great questions. I'm afraid to ask what this is. Oh, this is a VR thing.
Okay, come on. Okay. You're almost there. Come on.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
A little bit more.
Okay, that's too high.
Okay. Now you have to walk back.
Oh, no, I can't.
No.
Babe, I can't.
Try getting up.
There's no way I'm getting up.
Do you need help?
Do you need help?
Please, babe, please help me. I can't.
Okay.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my god, thank you. Oh my god. Keep going.
Okay. Can we just talk about the reality here? He knows he's wearing a VR set. It didn't look that real. How in the world did he actually go into an absolute panic that he was falling into an abyss on this video game? That's ridiculous. I've done VR. It's very cool. It's fun to play. But the video that we were watching on the screen behind him did not look that realistic. I don't know. I know it's like all the senses are encompassed, and so you kind of lose yourself, especially since they actually had a real board that he was climbing on. But man, it must have been very convincing to him. At least it was messing with his mind, clearly. But I feel bad, as terrified as he was in doing that. Why would she have kicked him off of it? Yeah, and I guess a lot has to do with just like how into the challenge you are, and that's interesting. Absolutely, Jake. You're absolutely welcome. I hope that this helps you find some sexy MILFs. That would be awesome. All right, guys, I want you to go and have an amazing day. I want you to lift heavy things. I want you to have some hot sex, and I want you to accomplish something, because being productive is a great way to jumpstart your day in the best kind of way. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please tune in late tonight, 10:30 Central Standard Time. So whatever that is for you, for Spicy Tea with Bunny and SV, we're going to talk about all kinds of sexy sex stuff. She truly is the most sexually open-minded, enthusiastic person that I have ever met, besides myself, who can genuinely talk about the real stuff when it comes to sex. So that's why we click so well, and that's why we started this show, because you guys need these kinds of answers. And it's only a once a month show, so if you tune in tonight, you will catch it. If I don't see you on there tonight, I will see you in 23 and a half hours right here. Thank you so much for all the great questions this morning, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to drink my coffee and go work out.